Alright, listen up and get ready, because we're about to blow the lid off of the greatest conspiracy against mortals on Azeroth. I'm your host, Nazax, broadcasting from the Undermine, and today we're peeling back the curtain on a plot so diabolical that it could only have been architected by Azeroth's master manipulators, the Nathreza. I'm talking about the terrible terrors of shadowy deception, the infamous Dreadlords. These bat-winged, skin-changing freaks have been lurking in the darkness since Warcraft 3, and now their time in the moonlight has all but arrived. Prep your best tinfoil hats as we take a deep dive into a sinister mystery proving how the Nathreza fit into the big picture of the World Soul Saga. Today's report, the Nathreza Master Plan. How the Dreadlords are the true villains of Midnight, and how they plan to blacken our sun, plunging Azeroth into shadow and fear. Before we get into the unseen enemy, let's start with the ones we do see. Since Legion at least, and the Cataclysm before it, the Void has been framed as Azeroth's greatest of threats. The whispers of the old gods, xal'atath's sharp wit, void elves and ethereals, it's all been building towards an apocalyptic showdown. But what if I told you it's all a diversion? We know from the book titled Enemy Infiltration Preface, found in Revendreth, that the Nathreza aren't just the servants of the Burning Legion or Death. They're cosmic manipulators who have infiltrated every force in the Warcraft universe. Life, light, void, order, you name it. These interdimensional psychic vampire freakazoids have been playing both sides all along. And we have the proof right here. In this little bedtime story penned by one of the Nathreza, they spill the beans about their grand operation.
The Void Lords all but welcome us with open arms. They are so preoccupied with their thousand truths that they ignore the lies we sow in their very midst. I believe we can leverage their vast reach to position them as a foil against our other rivals. We remain wary though. Since they are observant of multiple outcomes, it is conceivable they could anticipate our coming. Similar to the Titans, the Naru and their keepers are singular in purpose. Their adherence to a linear path is an obvious shortcoming. They savor nothing more than being proved right. So, if they believe they have converted one of us to their precious light, they will trust that agent implicitly.
So, according to them, they've got their claws in the Titans, the Void Lords, and even the Naru. And worst of all, they don't play favorites. The Void, it's a shadow, a bluff, a twisted charade. The Void Lords and the Old Gods with their constant whispers, they're just the faded losers in a far greater game. And xal'atath the Harbinger, more than just a flashy purple distraction, she's the perfect decoy. She keeps our attention with the Void's thousand truths while the unseen ones prepare their ultimate move. To heroes like us, Dementius is a non-threat, propped up by the masters of misdirect, the Nathreza, the architects of chaos, an unseen hand pulling every string, playing up the Void like smoke and mirrors to quell our hope, while the real nightmare slips right under our noses. And by the time we figure it out, it's already too late. Now, let's move on to the War Within's likely third act, Beledar. This massive crystal, almost certainly a crashed dimensional ship of Naru alignment, is stuck in the cavern ceiling of Hallowfall, swapping light and void states like a ticking time bomb about to blow. In patch 11.2, our mission is to stabilize the ship and secure whatever's inside before the Void's forces take over. Logically, we'd be aided by characters like Velen, Ilaria, Terrellium, and the Army of the Light. And you know who else is perfectly positioned to help? Enter Lothraxion, the Lightforged Nathreza, and right-hand man to Terrellium in the Army of the Light. Oh sure, of course we trust him. Even the Prime Naruzera did, after all. Plus, he's got that golden boy aura that makes everyone think, hey, this guy's on our side. In the raid on Beledar, the shining Nathreza knight and the armies of the light will show up to save the day, guiding us through the crystalline corridors in a hot pursuit of xal'atath and her ethereal armies. But here's the twist, my friends. What if our success at Lothraxion's side, him earning our trust, is exactly the catalyst the Nathreza anticipate to kick their own plans into high gear? We think we're saving the world when in reality, we're handing them the key to take it. But will Lothraxion be the first Nathreza we encounter? Oh no, that honor goes to Detheroc. Let's rewind to the War Within's first major patch, 11.1, Undermine. Azshara's most wanted pot-belly goblin, Gallywix, is back in business, terrorizing the cartels of Undermine from the Gallagio Casino. As we raid the Gallagio, it starts out like a typical goblin bust. Smash the mech, loot the gold, and take down the Chrome King. But as we delve deeper, we uncover a horrifying truth. Gallywix, our beloved schemer and coin counter, may not be the Gallywix we know. For this belligerent King of Diamonds has been replaced or dominated, made a pawn by none other than Detheroc, the gluttonous, scheming Lord of Dread first seen in Warcraft 3. When we corner Gallywix, the mask drops, revealing Detheroc in all his corpulent glory. With a sinister laugh, Detheroc escapes, leaving behind the real Gallywix, if he's even breathing, to our clouded judgment, and taunting us in the role he's played in xal'atath's plans. And what have we learned? The Nathreza are everywhere. Fast forward the clock to midnight, where the Nathreza's master plan is ratcheted into full gear. In this chilling roadmap drafted by the hands of Nathreza agents, we can follow their every step toward the linchpin of their twisted game, the Sunwell, a radiant wellspring of arcane and light. But they're not the only ones seeking its power. In patch 12.1, Reckoning, the Void, heralded by the cunning xal'atath, launches its long-awaited assault, and a full-scale invasion of Quel'Thalas is set into motion, intent on snuffing out the light of the Sunwell. But just like Khadgar warned us,
this isn't the real fight.
The true threat, my friends, is far more luminous. The climactic raid of patch 12.1 takes place at the Sunwell Plateau. The battle is arduous, sacrifices were made, but Dementius and the Voidlords are banished. xal'atath is nowhere to be seen, and the war appears to be over. However, as we begin to celebrate our victory over the shadow, fear lingers in the air. For you see, of course, since we know that Ilaria cannot near the Sunwell herself due to her void powers, her and Turalyon will have echoed their earlier interaction in Hallowfall, splitting up during the battle for the greater good of Quel'Thalas and Azshara. In Illyria's place, a trusted general of the Army of the Light will be tasked with defending the Sunwell alongside Turalyon. Who else but the light-forged Nathreza Dreadlord, Lothraxion. Day begins to break as a bloodied moon hangs over our scarred battlefield, and just when it seems we're in the clear, betrayal strikes. In a not-so-shocking twist, Lothraxion, this offensive excuse for a Winter's Veil tree topper, makes his dastardly move, finally revealing his true allegiances. Alongside a returning Detheroc with the asset in hand, they then use the Sunwell's energy to tear open a rift through the twisting Nether, opening the way to the shattered remnants of Nathreza, the desecrated homeworld of the Dreadlords. With this foul act, the vampiric Nathreza darken Azsharath's sun, as foreshadowed with Beledar, plunging the world into a nocturnal hellscape of shadow and fear. Midnight has fallen, heroes, and with the looming darkness comes patch 12.2, Apocalypse. In this chapter, the Nathreza are poised to resurrect their proudest achievement, Sire Detheroc, a knowledgeable being of hunger and ambition still bound within his blade, Remordia. The Sunwell Plateau is lost to the forces of dread, and in Azsharath's darkest hours, patch 12.1.5, Anduin Wrynn will turn to an unexpected ally, Sylvanas Windrunner. Her first-hand experience of these evils, her personal vendetta against Detheroc, and dealings with Veremithras makes her an invaluable asset in the fight against the Dreadlords. In a desperate move, Sylvanas is temporarily pardoned, allowed to return to Azsharath and defend her homeland of Quel'Thalas from the terrible threat of the Nathreza. It's the redemption arc she's been building toward, and it culminates in an epic assault as she stands shoulder to shoulder with her people, her sisters, to reclaim the light of the Sunwell from the looming shadow of Nathreza. The final raid in 12.2 will see us storming into the towering spires of wickedness, the shadowed throne of the Dark Lords of Dread. Statues, stairs, and architecture putting Castle Nathria to shame dwarfs our players as we make our way through labyrinths of fear, smiting the horrors that await within. Our goal is to stop Detheroc and his host of devils. You see, the Nathreza's endgame isn't just about plunging Azsharath into eternal night. It's about revealing the purpose of our world, those who ordered it, and the truth behind WoW's most controversial of expansions. The Shadowlands? That was no natural afterlife. It's a cleverly disguised facade conjured by the Makers to keep Azsharath's fate in their grimy hands. With Sire Detheroc and the Nathreza pulling back the curtain, the roof is about to be blown right off the lodge of this ancient secret society of magical Masonic masterbots, the Pantheon of Order. We will come to see the Shadowlands in a whole new light, no longer seen as a misstep in the narrative, but a pivotal chapter in the Titan conspiracy promised at BlizzCon 2023. And as midnight fades into the last Titan, we'll be heading back to where it all began, Northrend, the frozen heart of domination, to unearth the Titan's gravest sins. Sylvanas Windrunner, returned and ready to finish what she started, will lead the charge. Her fight on Nathreza for the fate of Quel'Thalas is just the beginning, and as she helps us thwart their Sunwell scheme, she'll point us towards the ultimate truth that she's known all along. This world is a prison, and the real battle for Azsharath is just getting started. And there you have it, folks. The Nathreza master plan laid bare for all to see. From Detheroc's camouflage in Gallywix's goblin greed, to Lothraxion's betrayal at the Sunwell in midnight, they've been playing us like pieces on a cosmic chessboard this whole time. The Dreadlords aren't just distracting B-plot side villains, oh no. They are the cunning architects of Azsharath's darkest days. Midnight won't just be about the void and ethereals. It's about the unseen enemy, the puppet masters lurking in the shadows, and the lengths we'll go to protect our world. Thank you for tuning in to this monumental episode of Knowledge Wars, where the truth isn't just out there, it's buried under layers of Dreadlord deception and Titan machinery. Be sure to hit like and subscribe across our platforms for future updates. Remember, folks, you are the resistance to the Nathreza world order.